I said that it's important to know that each man has a source. So, and the spirit governs the natural. So, as a Christian, I understand this principle. I know that as a spirit being, I'm inhabiting this body, and I'm going back to heaven. So, I must follow the laws that guide such a principle for me to go back to that place. So, to that regard, I restrain myself not to allow this my body, which we call flesh. Don't let me, bore you with our Christian words, terms. But I need to let you know that I came to invite. This is a body that must not be leading me to just do what I love. So I must live by a particular invisible principle that I'm going back to, which is my heaven. So, and that is life.
And this is all based on our faith.
Yes, that's based on faith.
Faith, to me,
yes,
is the biggest lie in the Bible.
It depends on what you're trying to say.
Well, they tell me that your faith, everything is written in stone. I don't believe that.
But that's not it. Everything is written in stone.
That's your destiny is designed by God.
Yes.
That is the meaning of it being written in stone. He already knows where you are going, where you are coming from, what you will be, everything that you. He knows everything.
Yes,
and that is
source.
So your faith is determined
by Him.
By Him.
Yes. And if I know that blueprint,
okay,
I move by it. It makes my life stress-free.
And yet again, He says the biggest gift God has ever given to man is free will. Can you see the contradiction? How do you have free will when your fate is determined? When what you will be?
You understand the understanding?
You see, let me give this a simple dramatic display.
Okay.
You put a child on a bed. He starts to crawl. That is his free will exercise. And he's about to fall from the edge of the bed. You draw him back up. You've determined, because if you are giving him his real free will, he might fall, right? But then you change his course when he's about to fall.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Very cool.
How do I really have free will? When every action, everything I do is determined by one God.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
You see, there
how
is
can
so
God,
much.
somebody even said so, RC as Paul in a American preacher, he said something very strong. How can God be sovereign? And he tells us to be free. And
I like that.
Yes, that is strong. So and the understanding.
These are the lies that comes from the Bible that makes me question some things in the Bible.
Because you look at it from the base of facts, actually.
Barrister Grace.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is, you see, I'm conflicted.
Yes, sir.
For the past how many years now, I've been practicing law, 10 years. Studied law for 6 years in law school. And everything that I've been taught is evidence, facts, what is factual. And then you move into religion, they tell you faith. Are they not?
Well, funny enough, you have me here on this show today. I am a very strong Christian, and I am also a lawyer. I know where I can understand where your difficulty is stemming from, but the only thing you said faith is the biggest lie. Well, I beg to differ, sir, because it's all a function of what you believe in. It is your belief that drives you. And the truth is that if you have this struggle, then you are not really a Christian. I'm sorry. Because if you were a Christian, you wouldn't have that. So anybody that is struggling with such questions, please, I just want to say here, you are not a Christian. Because Christianity is about what you believe. And it puts it clearly. This is the most, you see, It's not about what you see, which is what we lawyers talk about. It's facts that are evident. You must see it. But Christianity is, believe me. You don't have to see me to believe me. But I want us to go back a bit to our topic, which is the same. What is the implication, or what is the effect of same-sex marriages and relationships on our society? Is it helping us? Why is this nation, Nigeria, frowning against it?
The better question is it hurting us?
Is it hurting us?
Yes. What is it taking away from the community?
Please, sir, can you come in?
Well, I want you to
know
why I asked that question.
Okay.
It's simply because I personally experienced one a few years ago where the hotel I managed and the police came in, arrested practically almost about 100 people, and they said they were doing initiation of homosexuality. There's some guy called Johnny.
It was happening in the hotel.
They were having a party, a birthday party, and enjoying themselves and all that. And they swam into the birthday party, rushed all of them out in the rain, told them to sit down on the floor, and were like, no, that is the initiation of homosexuality and all that. It was a big deal. James Brown, that they didn't cut me. Did you hear about? I don't know.
Didn't hear about it.
All right, so it was a big deal then, and what I experienced was that the diligence of the police, the way they acted. First of all, they did not have any warrant for that act. They just swam in. It was just something else about it. And when I was trying to read them their rights, that they should not
do that.
Make no, I was talking to the people that were arrested. I
told
them that they should not say anything, that they should just request for a lawyer, and a lawyer will be provided for them by the state if they cannot afford one. They were more scared about their parents finding out because one reason or the other, they were all adults. They were no underage then. Because those were one thing that they were trying to figure out to use against them. You see, this case, they were a child before the media. That was when the James Brown guy became very famous because he kept on shouting, "They didn't catch me in the act. So why am I being arrested?" They were just having a party, a birthday party or whatever it is. And this thing went on for almost 2 years in court, and the case was dismissed due to the fact that the police had no
evidence.
They had been tried already
by the society.
In the media. Practically all of them, they've been chased out of their house because their parents don't want to live with them anymore, so they are living on the street, managing with other people. Some of them, they have been blacklisted by the society. So then I'm now asking that question. What is the purpose of this law? Because you're telling me that 2 adults, because someone once told me that how can you just, they will be influencing children. They seem to confuse, what is it called? Homosexualism with the one that you sleep with underage.
Pedophilia.
It's not the same thing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And then when they say it's un-African, and then I try to figure out what does that mean. Can you please explain to me what does un-African mean?
Okay, first of all, I think there are 2 questions here. What hurt does the being in same-sex relationship have on our society? Yes. And secondly, is it right for they to be treated the way they are being treated, being humiliated because of their sexual preference? First of all, like I stated at the beginning of this summit, the law was rushed. Enough research was not put into the psychology of a gay or homosexual person to conclude. Because first of all, I want to state clearly that I am in support of a restriction on or rather, let me put it rightly, I'm in support of prohibition of same-sex marriage or relationship in Nigeria. I'm in support of it. Am I in support of the way it has been implemented in Nigeria? No. Why? My reasons for this are very simple and clear. Like I said, the psychology and the mindset of these individuals. When we know, you need to investigate what is happening. Why is he saying this? And you need to find out. He's going to prison. Because when we say go to prison, the punishment, will it stop people from being gay? Does it correct? Will a gay person, after going to prison for 14 years, come out a straight person? So if he comes out, what now happens? Our society, Nigeria, has not put much thought into those questions or those silent issues. Because the truth is that if such a person was incarcerated, that person will be released, and the mindset, the orientation will remain the same, if not worse. And now you are talking about pedophilia. There are so many categories. My major reason for condemning same-sex marriages and the likes, I'm not just talking about same-sex, the whole LGBT category. My main reason is that most of these things stem from a place of abuse. Most of the gay people I've read or seen, if you see how they were introduced to these practices, it's coming from a bad place. And anything that comes from a bad place must be addressed as such. You don't go with a stick to beat somebody that has already been broken. So when our society treats it as such, I think if the law of the land says no, we don't want this, but does that mean we should kill our children because they have been influenced? There are so many Western influence out there. I hear about some celebrities that say that their female children are male oriented or their male children are, or vice versa. And my question to you is, if as a parent, I am a parent, I know a 2-year-old, I know a 3 or 4-year-old, at those ages, children are just mere copycats. I have a 3-year-old and she's prone to being aggressive. And when I look at her, I won't say, why is this girl being so aggressive? Why does she beat me? I just see her and I see myself. I have to adjust myself because when I look at her, I say, this is me. I'm being aggressive. Because she's just replaying to me what she sees me manifest. And so when those children are exposed to those things at those ages, and they begin to manifest them, you do not control it. What I'm trying to say is a question of identity. Our identity seems to be always compromised or being influenced negatively or positively before we even get to a point of saying, who am I? Who am I as a person? I think if we allow people to come to that realization before influence. When I talk about influence, I'm talking about the same abuse. You can find that a boy will not be raped. You find that his identity has been tampered with, or a young girl is raped, her identity has been tampered with because she began to question her person. Why did this happen to me? Maybe I did something. Maybe I'm not supposed to be something. Maybe it's my fault. She or he does not recognize they are victims in this.
Maybe that's just me.
maybe that's just me. So, and I think that is where we are failing in respect to this law. As that's where Nigeria is failing woefully, and we must realize that these people, the case of James Barry you mentioned, it is unfortunate, it is heartbreaking, because first of all, before I see you as a man, as a woman, I see you as a human being. And I think Nigerians have to come to that point where we begin to see each other as humans first, before we look at tribe, religion, sex, whatever, male, female. Human being, would I do this to myself? And if we could address those issues, then we could now finally get on the right path to saying we don't want this in our society, and this is how we go about it. So I'm sorry for taking much of the time. I went to an all-female school. And I saw lesbianism at its highest levels. And I want to also point out that I was highly tomboyish in nature when I was a kid. As a young girl, I had these red shorts. My hair was completely down. I don't wear shirts. I don't play with dolls. I don't play with girls. I play hard football with teenagers. As a child of 8-10-year-old, I play hard football, because when I play with girls, I end up injuring them. And it's always a funny thing. But that was my orientation. But do I grow up to be does that mean I lose my identity as a woman because I like to dress like men? I have old pictures of me looking with my Timberland boots and my baggy shorts, and I dress that way because then that was what I liked. But I also knew I was a woman. It didn't alter my psyche as a woman. I still did my dishes. I still did my house chores. I still took care of my little ones. Even without it, I still backed my junior ones. Growing up, I went to a female school where there was lesbians, but because I knew who I was, those acts could not influence me. They couldn't. It was rampant, and the fact that I wasn't involved in it kind of wanted to stigmatize me, but I was okay. So this is what I'm saying. We should address matters rightly. This Nigerian society, if we are agreeing that we do not want same-sex relationships in this nation, by virtue of the society, if the society say this is because I believe that a law is what the society agrees to. Who makes our law? The representatives, and it's the people that come together. This we want, this we don't want. It's a collective thing. Laws are not made for individuals, they are made for the society. When they say you should observe the zebra crossings on the road, it's not because yes, it could benefit me, but it's mainly for the society. And so I believe that we need to go back to the drawing board on this law and really do our research properly in order to get it right and not stigmatize and reorient our young people, especially those that have been wrongfully influenced by external forces as to their identity. Who am I? When we do that, then we can come back to the drawing board and say this and this and this are the laws guiding the prohibition of same-sex marriages in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Yes.
All right. So we're talking about the law. I want to read out something about the functions of the law, if you bear with me. All right. So, purpose and function. The main functions of the law in a country, they are to keep the peace in the country, that's security. Shaping the moral standard. We've talked a lot about the moral. Promoting social justice. Providing a basis for compromise. And lastly, to help in facilitating a plan. You see, this is where I stand when it comes to all this. Because if I look at the first one, security, I see it as something that is genuine. When a law is to protect, is to secure individuals, I am all in for that. morality as well. But then again, I'll ask myself, what is moral to you might not be moral to me. Morality differs in many ethnic groups, many society, many community, many religion. What is moral to a Muslim? Arab, what do they call? You can't touch a woman. Christians, they don't mind. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it differs in so many ways. There is a facilitating orderly change. Okay, you want there to be order. That is also okay. Do you understand?
Yes.
That is also a form of security. So at the end of the day, we are all talking about security. When we talk about providing a basis for compromise, and lastly, for help in facilitating a plan. You see, all those things, when I look at it, and then I look at the law, and I try to figure out what security is this thing, this law trying to prevent. I don't see any. However, I have seen too many laws, too many insecurity that has happened. You see the likes of people being blackmailed, you see them being killed, being burned to death. Some of them will be naked in the public and be beaten for probably dressing like a woman or whatever the case may be, or being caught or thereabouts. There's so many videos on YouTube. There is a word that they even use, keto. Keto is a word, is their way of describing an unsecure area. Don't go there, it's keto. Do you understand? So all these things is happening. And then you now look at the law. You have created a law that brings about insecurity. Is that the purpose of a law? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
It will be a different case if you tell me that, oh, I understand they are going for morality, which I have explained again. Morality differs. You cannot just go and say it's immoral. That is the reason why you created the law. Okay, everyone in that society, do they agree with you? You cannot just say because this is a section, this is a small, minute section of people, and then you now say, because of that, let us put them aside, we can overrule them. What have they done to create a level of insecurity in the society that you will create such a law that will end them 10 to 14 years in prison? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So, these are my own problems. When you create law, you should have a basis for creating. You've said so many things here. Things that they did not look at, because I looked at all the countries, the likes of in America, in some of these European countries. Some of them, they went to court. They presented their case, reasons why same-sex marriage should be allowed. And after they've given all their case, the judgment was given in their favor. If you see all the reasons that they gave, there's so many. You can read it online anyway. You can get them online. You can even send you copies. I saw the likes of, they are much more present in the child's life. Even when they separate, they don't leave the child. They are more involved in the child's upbringing than heterosexual community, where you find the father always abandoning once they separate. The father doesn't care. All the statistics were all the things that the court looked into, and they saw that. Why are we really not giving these people what they want? And then someone will now come and tell you it's on Africa. What is the meaning it's on Africa? There are so many things that can fall into the category of it's on Africa that is African today. That is never a good reason to even make a law that drastic. So,
okay. So, yes, well, I agree with some of your points and I disagree with others. First of all, like I said initially, for the prohibition, because like you said, morality. The question of morality, a single person's act, my act, my innocuous, inverted commas, because to me, I might think what I'm doing is hurting nobody. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because I like it. I'm not hurting anybody. But I can tell you, there is no single act that is for a person. See, we must look at ourselves as collectives. There is no,
When you say you're not hurting, I want to understand. When you say not hurting anybody, because I can be a parent and I don't want my child.
So I'm just trying to make the point that most of
Your point, I want your point to fall into the functions of making a law.
I'm coming there.
As a parent now, I just want you to, as a parent now, for example, if I say I don't want my child to be homosexual,
yes,
so because he or she now becomes homosexual and is hurting me, then you should now make a law saying that he should go to 14 years. Is that your definition?
That's not my point, and that's not what clarity. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the parent. I'm even talking about, yes, I understand. I'm just talking about even the homosexual or the lesbian or the gay person who says I'm gay does not hurt anybody.
Yes.
That's where my point is coming from. I'm gay does not hurt anybody, but I'm trying to point out that being gay is not an individual thing. Being heterosexual is not an individual thing. You do not live on an island.
Yes.
Each of our individual acts affect each other. So if I lose a stream of this garment, I'm in a danger of unraveling the whole garment. It becomes useless. One single string. And that is how society operates. And so when society come together and we agree, or a majority agree, there's nothing wrong with a gay society that agrees that this is okay, which is why I do not query America for their law. I don't.
You do know that they have a society in Nigeria as well.
I don't. I'm not aware. I'm just talking about. I'm just talking about the society totally. Nigeria as a country. As a country, if a majority of Nigeria or Nigerians come together via their representatives in the House of Assembly or whatnot, and they come together and they agree that we do not want this in our society. They agree. I'm sure the society should adhere to that. Because, for instance, let me land.
Let me help you.
No, don't help me. Mr. Barrister. Let me land. When we agree that nobody should steal, does that mean there are no thieves? Of course there are. Does that mean stealing has stopped? No. But law and order is a guide. The majority of people are not thieves. Majority of people are not homosexuals.
Yes.
Majority are heterosexuals. And I'm saying that heterosexuals, yes, I agree, they should not be subjugated. They should not be treated like animals. I agree to that. But be that as it may, they should not also force me to accept them, because morally, to me, it's wrong.
They are not forcing anybody to accept.
By their way, then let me prove that to you. If you go online, if I go online and I make a statement with regards to my faith or my belief, I would get attacks. Oh, you are homophobic. Oh, you are that. Oh, you are this. I have to restrain, because for me it's a belief. And see, whether we like it or not, morality is it stems from a, how do I put it? It's not coming from an individual. It works collectively. Whether we like it or not, what we ought to do is imbibed in us by our parents, by our schools, by the society. We learn morality. Oh, don't do that, do this. Don't do that, do this. Don't do that, do this. Because that is what society agrees to. And we have a danger of unraveling society or what society stands for if everything goes or anything goes.
Let me help you.
Help me, sir.
You believe or you agree with me when I say heterosexuals? You know how the females that are heterosexuals. They require sex as an adult.
Require? What do you mean require?
They need, not want. They need sex as an adult.
They engage, because my problem is
it a need?
My problem is that word need.
Alright, you understand that a need.
It's a choice. Sex is a choice. I don't know, please correct me, sir. It's a choice. I might decide, because there are people that go without it and it's not hurting them. It's just because that's another topic entirely. This whole society has been sexualized. Our whole society is sexualized, and that's why our morals are running out of control. We don't have morals anymore. Everything is sexualized. So I'm saying that word need. Yes, it's a choice.